In India's largest state, one party holds a single seat out of 403. In the last national election, it won nothing. By every conventional measure, it is finished, yet the voters it speaks for are the most contested bloc in the state. 3 parties compete for them at once, and how those voters divide will decide who governs 240 million people in 2027. This month, an opposition member of parliament was stopped at a highway toll plaza trying to reach the family of a murdered Dalit student, a young woman from India's lowest castes. The reflex reading is another caste atrocity, another failure of law and order. That reading misses the substance. Beneath the outrage sits a question of arithmetic, not whether one party survives, but how one bloc splits 3 ways. Start with the reasonable story because it is well supported. The party is the Bahujan Samaj Party, once the most powerful vehicle for India's oppressed castes. Its decline looks terminal. In 2007, it won a majority, 206 seats on about 30% of the vote. By 2017, 19 seats. In 2022, just 1. At the last national election, its state vote fell to roughly 9%, with no seats anywhere. Its leader is 70. Her chosen heir has been promoted and dropped repeatedly, with no base of his own. There is no organizational renewal. Meanwhile, the wider Dalit vote appears to be consolidating into the opposition on a clear gradient. Read the numbers plainly, and the conclusion seems to write itself. The party is dying, and its voters are moving on. But one number resists that story. In 2024, in the governing party's worst state showing in a decade, only 25% of Jatav Dalits, its historic core, voted for the opposition. 3/4 did not. Survey data put other Dalits at 56%, the Yadav farming caste at 82%, Muslims at 92%. The one group that has not consolidated is the core everyone assumes is collapsing. Here is the distinction that reorganizes everything. Seat count and vote weight are not the same. Under first past the post, a party can lose every seat and still hold a decisive floor of votes. Seats measure where you finish first. Votes measure whom you can deny. So there are 2 Dalit electorates, moving at different speeds. The Jatavs, about 11% of the state, sticky, still anchored to the old party. And the other Dalits, about 9%, already more than half with the opposition. 3 vehicles chase them. The shrunken Bahujan Samaj Party, an insurgent new Dalit party led by the man stopped at the toll plaza, and the main opposition's coalition of backward castes, Dalits and minorities. Now, the mechanism. A bloc need not win seats to decide them. A Jatav vote that stays outside the opposition's column, parked with the old party or drifting to the government, is exactly what holds the incumbent's lead open. Fragmentation, not any leader's mortality, sets the ceiling on the anti-incumbent vote, and this is where it bites. Average income in the state is about $1,100 a year, roughly half the national figure. A vote that cannot be aggregated, cannot extract. The poorest large states' Dalits lose leverage precisely when they divide. Why does the obituary circulate so freely? Because it serves 2 audiences, an opposition that needs Dalits to believe the old party is a wasted vote, and commentators who prefer a clean 2-horse race to a messy 3-cornered one. The strongest countercase deserves stating at full strength. It runs like this. The party is not diminished but dead. 0 national seats, a vote more than halved, no renewal, an unstable succession. The 2019 result was the tell. It won 10 parliamentary seats only by borrowing the opposition's votes, and the moment it stood alone in 2024, it fell to none. That is not a flaw, it is dissolution. As for the insurgent, he is a one-constituency figure. His 500,000 votes came from a local blend of Dalits and Muslims found in few other places. Beyond it, no cadre, no transfer machine, no state organization. Parts of this are simply true, but it collapses a distinction. A party's fate and the disposition of its voters are 2 different questions. The party will not govern, that is settled. It does not follow that the party no longer matters. The stickiness of its core is not a forecast, it is an observed result. And a bloc that decides seats need not win any. Where does this go? 3 paths, not equally likely. The base case, which I would put near 55 to 60%, is that fragmentation persists because none of the three has any incentive to concede the bloc, and the old party's leader has publicly ruled out an alliance for 2027. Watch her vote share across the 84 seats reserved for Dalit candidates, the most sensitive number in the contest. The upside, perhaps 20 to 25%, and better for Dalit bargaining power, is that the opposition strikes a quiet deal with the insurgent, gathering the fluid non-Jatav vote behind one candidate in the western districts. The precedent is mixed. An earlier such alliance in 2019 won only 15 of 80 seats because vote transfer is imperfect. The downside, 15 to 20%, is the one the opposition should fear most. The sticky Jatav core erodes toward the government by sheer inertia, as years of patient outreach have already lifted the ruling party's lower caste representation from about 10% to 30%. Step back. This was never about one aging leader or one party's obituary. It is a distributional question, whether India's largest Dalit electorate can turn its numbers into leverage. The reserved seat map rewards those who aggregate and punishes those who fragment. The killing in Meerut is a human tragedy first, but the politics it surfaced is arithmetic. And on today's evidence, the question of who can gather that bloc is open, not answered.